Shrimati Ramanujaya Namaha. Sri Sailesha Dayapatram Dibhaktadi Gunarnavam Yatindra Pravanam Vande Ramyaja Mataram Munim Lakshminatha Samarambham Nathayamana Matyamam Asmadacharya Paryandham Vande Guru Paramparam Yonityam Achyutavadam Vujayukma Rukma Vyamohatastathitarani Trinayamene Asmatguror Bhavadosya Dhayekasantoho Ramanujasya Charanau Sharanam Pravatye. Namaskaram to all. So on this journey of 108 Divyadesam, we will see some of the, from this part, couple of temples from the northern side, which we call it out as the Badanat Tirustalangal. Anything that it is above south is termed as the northern part of the temples. The one of the famous one, many of the Adiyars would have visited, similar to Thiruvarangam, is Thiruvenkatamalai, Tirumalai. We call it out also Tirupati, on the side of those who are aware of this particular place. In today, it is part of the Andhra Pradesh in India. This temple has got a big history. Lot of history. We would cover some of the salient features within the short span of that time, what we have. And this has been referred from various Puranas. When we are talking about Puranas, are very, very, very ancient. It has been from the first Yuga. The Puranas are the most oldest one. And if there are references to this particular temple, then that this must be a very, very, very olden one, because there are many of the Puranas like Birmanda Purana, Varaha Purana, Skanta Purana, Atma Purana. Everything talks about and there is a reference of this particular temple into that. The most important one is the Varaha Puranam. The Varaha Purana, the Varaha Thiru Avataram, Embraman is taken as the third Thiru Avataram in the Krita Yuga. So we are talking about such a history of the existence of this particular temple. Of course, the temple would have been built later with a lot of, but we are talking about the Pratishtai of Emperor Man himself. And this is one of the temple. It is again a Swayam Bhakta Kshetram. That means Emperor Man himself took this place as a choice, and he came and he himself stayed there, similar to how we saw that in Thiruvarangam. So this is one of the Swayam Bhakta Kshetram. The Varaha Purana talks about a lot, and there is also today, initially in different yugas, this temple was called with a different names. The whole of the mountains were called. In Krita Yugam, it is called as Vrishapatri. In the Treta Yuga, it is Anchanatri, Dwapara Yugam, Seshatri, and in Kali Yugam, we call it out as a Venkatatri. And even today, there is also in the initial days, there was a Varaha Peruman. The Emperorman was as a Varaha Peruman, which is a third Thiruvataram of incarnation of Sriman Narayana. And even today, near the pond of the main temple, the Pushkarani, you would see that there is a Varaha temple there, and many people go there. Initially, go and pray this particular Varaha temple there, and then we go into this Thiruvenkadamurayan's main Sannadhi. So this is the story, and that's why it has got a very great roots from the Puranas, is very important, and so most ancient one. And Swayam Bhakta Kshetram is very important to know. It has got the 7 ranges of mountain. If you look at, I think, noticed from downstairs, if you look at Tirumalai, it looks like the whole Adisesha. Adisesha, how Embraman is lying on an Adisesha, the whole rocks looks like the whole Adisesha on the 7 mountain range. The head part of the Adisesha is the Venkatatri, where this Tirumalai is there, and then the 7 ranges are there. There are different ways. We call it out as a Venkatatri, Sechasalam, Vedachalam, Garudachalam, Vrishabhatri, Anchanatri, Anantatri. These are all the names of those 7 mountain ranges. Today you will see that's why it is called as, also called as the 7 hills mountains. In Tamil we'll call it out as a Elumalai. So let's look at this. The history is there. It's a very big history of how it started, but we will see it in a very quick summary. How it started is at one point of time, the saints normally they discuss as a lot of topics, and all the saints and the rishis together, they were discussing a topic out of the three Mumurtis, Shiva, Brahma, and Vishnu, who has got the character of most sattvika, okay, who has got the sattvika guna. They wanted to understand, they wanted to test that one. So they chose Bhrigu Maharishi, Bhrigu saint, one of the saints called Bhrigu Maharishi, and they asked him to visit those lokas and find out this. So Bhrigu Maharishi first went to Satyaloka. Satyaloka is where Brahma is there, and he was with Saraswati, Lord Saraswati, and when Bhrigu Maharishi went there, Brahma didn't notice it out. So even with whatever somebody has come, so he has not noticed, and he was very much ignoring, and he did not even see him. So Bhrigu Maharishi thought that, okay, he has got some type of small root character, and so he didn't think that one, he is having the most sattvika guna. So he decided to go from there to Kailasha to visit Lord Shiva. At that time, Lord Shiva and Parvati, it is an ekanta vela, that is, they are together and they are having the time together. At that point of time, Bhrigu Maharishi was entering the Kailasha, and Lord Shiva saw him, and then when he is spending that time with Parvati, he has entered, and so he looked at him with the anger face and anger eyes. So Bhrigu Maharishi thought two things. First of all, he has to leave that place because he has come on a wrong time. And the second thing, he also saw that there is a anger that it is coming from Lord Shiva. And so he said that now I will go to Sri Vaikuntham and see Emperor Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. Then he came to Sri Vaikuntham and then Tirupparkadal. Then he saw that one Emperor and Sri Mahalakshmi Thayar. Emperor was lying Nodisation and together with Mahalakshmi Thayar. So Emperor saw Bhrigu Maharishi coming, but then he knew from his things what happened in Kailasha and in Satyaloka, how Bhrigu Maharishi has been treated, and also he wants to make him a lesson. So he, even though he saw him, he acted as if he did not see him. So he ignored him after seeing him. So now Bhrigu Maharishi, realizing that in the other two places, at least Brahma didn't see him, Lord Shiva saw him with an anger face, but here Emperor is reacting so much that he's even giving a disrespect, that after seeing me, that he is acting that as if he has not seen me. So he got angered, Bhrigu Maharishi, and then he went straight to Emperor, and then with his legs and feet, he kicked on the chest of Emperor Bhrigu Maharishi. So at that time, Emperor looked at Bhrigu Maharishi. In a normal sense, somebody would get very angry because he is the supreme god and somebody is kicking his chest. So Emperor reacted in the way that he touched the feet of Bhrigu Maharishi and then asked him, is it so much paining? Because you kicked my chest. Is it paining? That's how he asked. And Bhrigu Maharishi realized his wrongdoing of what he has done to the supreme god Emperor, and then he fell into the feet of Emperor. This reaction Sri Mahalakshmi Thayar was seeing, and she is in the Sri Devi and Bhudevi is in the chest of Sriman Narayana. Even though the magnanimity and how Emperor was reacting to Bhrigu Maharishi, Sri Mahalakshmi Thayar could not take that one. So she disagreed with that one, and then she left Sri Vaikuntham and she came to this part of the world, and she stayed into a temple. Even today in Maharashtra, it is called Kolhapur Mahalakshmi Temple. So she stayed there, leaving Sri Vaikuntham. That means she never leaves the chest, the marble. She never leaves Emperor in that way, but physically she came here into this temple. So in Sri Vaikuntham, Emperor cannot be alone without Sri Mahalakshmi. So he decided to come to this world, and he chose this particular hills, the mountain range of Tirumalai, and he was living with the name of Srinivasan. So he was lying there in that mountain, And when he was sitting there as a Srinivasan, the sand burrow started to grow around him. There is a big burrow started to grow, and Lord Shiva and Brahma, they were seeing all this too, because they were aware of Bhrigu Maharishi coming and what happened in all those things. So they decided to take a form of a cow and a calf. They are taking it out, and they join one of the Chola king who was ruling at that time. And then they joined the cows within that particular kingdom. So every day, this person who takes all the cows, they take these cows, and this cow and the calf alone will go separate, and then started to pour milk into this Sanburu where Emberman was at the underneath. And then every day, when the cow comes back, when the person tries to take milk, that cow alone is not giving any milk. So he was he suspected something. How come other cows are giving milk, but this cow is not giving any milk? So he followed the next day where this cow is going. So he saw that this is going and pouring the milk into this sandpur. So he really got angry, this cowman. So he took a big stick and then he went to near to this cow to beat this particular cow. At that time, Emberuman got up from this sandpur, and he got hit by this stick, and then there were certain blood stains that were coming out, and he really got, and then he fell down. This cowman fell down. What happened? This cow went straight to the kingdom of this Chola, and normally there will be a bell for people who has come there and ring that bell so that the king can come and ask them what are all those things that he has to do for them, or they have something to say. So when he came out, there was a cow. It was ringing that bell. And the Chola king could not understand what is happening. And so the cow started to walk, and then it took him to the place where this cowman was lying down, and there were some blood stains and sticks were there. The cowman's stick was there. So he realized something wrong happened due to this cowman. At that time, Emberman was coming and then saying that you are ruling this particular place, and this cowman, even if he has done the wrongdoing, you also have the responsibility as a king of this one. And so for some time, you will be going roaming around as a demon into this place of the same mountain. So the Chola king prayed to Emberman, and then Emberman told, don't worry, you will be born as another Chola king called Akasharajan, and you will be reborn as another Chola king, and you will have one daughter who will be Shakshat, the Bhuma Devi, will be born as a Padmavati, as a daughter to you, and I will be coming and marrying that daughter. So you would have that particular type of blessings from me. And then this happened later. There was a Chola king called Akasharajan, and this Akasharajan had got a daughter. He named her as Padmavati, and that Padmavati Tayar, Srinivasan, who was living in Tirupati at that time, he was brought by one of the lady, and she was supposed to be termed as the Yashoda from the previous one. So she took, and the marriage happens as he told in the previous Chola king. So Srinivasan, as Emperuman, he went, and the marriage was fixed. It was a grand marriage. And now Sridevi Tayar from Kolhapur, she also comes there, and Emperuman takes them into their chest, both the Sridevi and Bhudevi, and started to posture that as a Tiruvenkadamudayan with both the Tayars and the chest onto this particular location. And this marriage is a great marriage. Even today, we make a lot of Kalyana Utsavam for Emperuman in Tirumalai, and this is a grand marriage. And Emperuman, for the money, it is said that he Guberan sponsored that particular marriage. He took money from Guberan for that big marriage of Srinivasa Peruman and Padmavati Tayar. And that is the story how Emperuman took this place and stayed there as a Srinivasa Peruman. So making a Kalyana Utsavam today in Tirumalai is such a great celebration because of the wish Emperuman himself wanted to have this marriage done. And there are several times that we are doing this marriage, and even today that is one of the grand celebration and the festivals that we do for Srinivasa Peruman. Tayar in this particular one, even though in the Tirumalai you will see Thiruvenkadamurayan, Sri Venkadesha Peruman. Tayar is in Tiruchanur, so Alamayal Mangai Tayar. So always it is a practice that we should have. We should visit Tiruchanur. And there is a Moolavar Sannidhi which is called as a Govindaraja Peruman in Tirupati, not in the upper mountain. This is one of the Moolavar that we say that for this particular Emperuman. And Govindaraja Peruman, which is called Govindaraja Patnam in Tirupati, which is on the city of Tirupati itself. Tiruchanur is there. So we always have, at least when we go to Tirumalai, we should go to Tiruchanur, Govindaraja Patnam, and then Varaha Peruman in the Pushkarani, and then Thiruvenkadamurayan is the way that it is normally it is practiced minimum. And if we have a time, there are a lot of tours, they take it to all those 7 hills. There are several ponds, tirthams in Tirumalai, and they take it to all of those places. The lot of festivals in the month of Puratasi, which is almost like in the October time period, there is a big Brahmotsavam annual festivals that happens. There are 14 ponds which is in different places, and even if today if you go there, they take you to the different ponds. Koneri is a very big pond. One of the Alvar has sung about this Koneri also in the Pasurams, referring to that one, which is Kulasekara Alvar has sung about that. The tower is called as Anantanilaya Vimanam. These are all, I think we can talk about Tirumalai for several hours. There are such a features, and it has got many places to visit, and history from Anchana, the mother of Anchaneya. There are many of those histories. Adian covered whatever that it is something important for us to understand how Emperuman came here. And also Alvars, except for Tondaradi Pudiyalvar and Madurakavi Alvar, all other Alvars have sung Mangalasasana. They have done Mangalasasanam of this particular location, because this is a location for Devas to visit into this place every day. Like how for Vibhishana, this Thiruvarangam is a daily place where in the nights that the darshan is given to Vibhishana. Here all other Devas, because they also think when this is a great place and they wish to come from that, the Nityatmakal and Devas, they wanted to come and have the darshan, and that is a place where they come in Tirumalai is what it is being said. And so that is where you would also see many of our bhaktas are going, and Adiyars are visiting into this. It's one of the famous place. And Namalvar has sung a Sharanagati Pashurams. Thiruvenkadamudai, he has sung many of the Pashurams, and one of the Pashurams he sings about how Tayar doesn't leave the chest. She always stays together with Emperuman. Even Akshanam, he doesn't get out of Emperuman, is what this Pashuram stays. And there he is talking about, he's singing the praise of this Thiruvenkadamalai. Agalagillen, Irayamendu, Alarmel, Mangai, Uremarba, Nigaril, Vahal, Ulaham Montudaya, Yenna Alvane, Nigaril, Amarar, Munikanangal, Berumbum, Thiruvenkadatane, Puhal Wandilla, Adien, Unadiki, Amanda Bohundene. And he is talking about Agalagillen, they never separate themselves, and that is the greatness. And he did the Sharanagati to Emperuman. Odivil Kalamellam, Utanai Mani, Vadivila, Adime, Shaya Vendum Nam, Teril, Gural, Arvi, Rivengadat, Teril Holsodi, and Tandeke. There are several Pashurams of Alvas into this one. And one of the Alvas, very specifically, we cannot cover all the Alvas Pashurams. Kulasekara Alvar, he was a king. on the Chera side. It was one of the Chera king on the Kerala side of it, and he completely left all the kingdoms, and he was very much an ardent devotee of Emperuman, and he has sung 10 Pasurams about the Trivenkadamalai, and what he talks about the praise of that one, he likes this place, and then he wants to be something onto this mountain place. He starts with, I can be this plant, I can be in the water, I can be a fish into this pond, I can. So he talks about somehow he wants to have association with this place for years. Because of the Venkadamudiyan is there, this particular place has been praised. And he even talked about steps in front. If you go to the main sanctum inside, there will be always a step where you cross and go. And then he wants to be that footstep of, because all the adiyars and everybody can cross him, and he is very close to Emperuman also. And that footstep, even in Vaishnava temples today, we call it out as a Kulasekara Padi. And so Kulasekara Alvar has sung this song, and he is singing the greatness, and he's talking about, I can be something as a thing. I don't want to be like this human being. Instead of that, I can be something which is associated with Trivenkadamalai, is what the Alvar's praises so much. Tirumangai Alvar has sung, he says that one, he is the whole of this, he is the mother, he is the father, and he doesn't need any other relation in this world. So he praises Trivenkadamudiyan. So there are more than 200 Pasurams in Nalayira Divya Prabandham for Trivenkadamalai. So such is a greatness, and we can talk about this many stories about the Trivenkadamalai. Adiyan covered a few of them, few glimpses of that one for Adiyas to know. Of course, many of the Adiyas would have visited there, and even we can go many times, and we get at least we visit the Richanur, Govindaraja-Patnam, Varahasannadi, and then visit Emperuman at least to get all the blessings of Tayar and Emperuman on this occasion. And this is the one of the northern part of the temple first we have seen. We will see some more in the next part of our journey. Shrimate Ramanujaya Namaha. ஆழ்வார்கள் திருவடிகளே சரணம், எம்பெருமானார் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஆச்சாரியன் சுவாமி திருவடிகளே சரணம்.